Hi there, my name is Ryan Utes. I'm the groundskeeper here at Hazelden in Center City. Congratulations, you are now an operator of a Kubota 1100 cart. You get to operate one of these bad boys. I'm here to show you the ins and outs of this machine, how to drive it properly, and some safety tips to keep you people safe. So I'll give you a quick outside look of your machine. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, the best way I can describe these vehicles is they're basically like a small truck, a small diesel truck. It's equipped with headlights, a pusher bar, 4 big tires, and some mud flaps. Also, a box that goes up and down. And here you can see here, this is where you put in fuel, but we'll get to that later. So here you have the inside of the Kubota. And this, as you can see, it's a lot like a side-by-side UTV is essentially what these are. But they kind of feel like a small truck when you're driving it. So we'll start from the basics. Here's your steering wheel right here. This is what you use to steer. To your left here, this is your parking brake, which doesn't need to be engaged to start it, but it's a good thing to have on, especially when you're parked on a slope. Over here is your horn, if you can see that. Your horn's right here. This is your headlights to turn them on and off. Yours might be equipped with turn signals coming soon, but I'm not sure yet. This lever right here is to adjust the wheel. So I can give them an example here. So this can go up and down. You can adjust it for the operator. Right here is your gear selector. Sorry, this one's a little dirty. This is your gear selector. So right now it's in neutral. It needs to be in neutral to start the Kubota. So it has 4 gears. It has low, high, neutral, and reverse. Over here you have the main screen, and this will show you all the different gauges and what they mean. Here's your ignition with your key. Over here you have the climate controls. The air conditioner is that button right there to engage the air conditioner. Heat, cool, the different settings, which sometimes work and sometimes they don't. It just depends on the Kubota. And then your vents, which you can use to move them towards the windshield, move them towards you, or just close them like so. Now with these Kubotas, the seats fold up, so you can store things underneath the seat if you wish, such as gloves or bags or whatever you'd like. And then down below, this is an automatic or like a variable speed transmission. So there's your brake pedal and there's your gas pedal. Now I'm going to walk you through how to start the Kubota in warm weather and in cold weather. So first things first, when you get in your Kubota, make sure that the keys are in it. Pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you got a key in the ignition. You turn the key once and it will show you how many hours are on the machine. It'll show you that the parking brake is engaged. It'll also show this battery light. It just comes on all of them. It's pretty normal. Now if it's warm, like today, if it's warm outside, all you have to do is just start it just like your normal passenger vehicle. Now your Kubota's running. It has a warning light here to let me know that my parking brake is on. Pretty simple. So now I'm going to show you how to start the Kubota if it were cold outside and if this were to sit outside overnight or something. Now, you don't have to do this when it's stored inside, which most of the time it is. So what you're going to want to do is make sure it's in neutral, just like we did before. Turn the key, and you're going to slightly turn the key so that way this light comes on. That's called a glow plug. And you're going to want to hold it there for, about 10 seconds or so. Sometimes longer if it's colder outside. And then you just hit the button. So one other thing I forgot to mention about this thing is it is 4-wheel drive. And the switch to put it in 4-wheel drive is right down here. So in order to put it in, I think it might have to be running to put it into 4-wheel, but you pull it up to put it into 2-wheel and forward to put it into 4-wheel. And another thing, you might ask yourself about this pedal here. Don't touch it. That's something to do with the transmission. You guys won't need to worry about using that pedal at all for what you're using it for. So you're in your Kubota and you just pulled out of the garage. you have it in high gear. Now, I should mention, I have it in neutral right now, so that's why it's moving. But in order to change gears with this, you got to put your foot on the brake and put it into high. That's just like your passenger vehicle. You got to have your foot on the brake in order to change gears. So now, you're out and about, and you're just going to give it some gas and go nice and easy. Now, when you're on the roads, you rarely, if ever, have to go all out, full throttle. Unless there's some type of emergency or something, you don't necessarily need to pound on the gas pedal. So when you're driving, like let's say you're driving on the main road here, when you're in a Kubota, I always try to keep the Kubota kind of halfway on the white line here. That way it allows other traffic, faster moving traffic, to pass you, and you don't have to worry about people being stuck behind you and you holding things up. Also, when you're driving, the rules of the road still apply. You know, watch where you're going, look both ways, give people the right of way, follow stop signs. Always try to drive nicely when you're in these things. Now, I know you guys will probably be doing some driving on the trails. Make sure when you're driving on the trails to keep your speed at a slow speed. There's always patients out walking, wildlife, and so forth on the trails. Now, when you go up hills, you might have to give it some extra gas. But on the trails, try to keep it under 10 miles an hour. It's just a safe thing. Safe thing to do. Keep your eyes open. Be aware of what's going on around you. Now, sometimes in the spring and in the fall, and sometimes if we get a really good rain, just pay attention to the trail conditions. If it looks really muddy and it looks very hard to pass, please don't put it in four-wheel drive to think you'll get through it. 9 times out of 10 you'll get stuck. These carts have a lot of power, but they don't have as much power as you may think. So you're going to have to just be careful. If it looks muddy, stay out of it. Now, this is a pretty good instance of a pretty steep hill. This is on the red trail over by Jelnik. Now, you're going to, when you go down a hill in these, you're going to want to just take it nice and easy. Don't have to give it a lot of gas. And let the cart do the work. And you can safely go down the hill. Same thing with going up. So I know it may look enticing to want to drive through the grass. However, please do your best unless you absolutely have to. Don't drive on the grass. Because I'm the one who has to take care of the grass, and we take a lot of pride in the turf around campus just to make it look nice for everybody, make it really cool looking. So please do your best not to drive on the turf. But if there's an emergency and you absolutely have to drive through the lawn, by all means do. But as a general rule, don't drive on the grass. I forgot to mention one other thing about driving around campus. As you can see, I've got a pretty good rate of speed. Do not take corners at full speed. If you need to turn, let off the gas and make a nice and even turn. I haven't personally heard of any of these carts being able to tip over, but I heard it does happen. So just make sure to do your best and to drive at an appropriate amount of speed when you're on the roads. But just make sure to take corners nice and easy and get back into the throttle, especially if you need to get somewhere quickly. So at some point in time, you'll probably look inside at the gas gauge and realize that it's getting a little low. Well, lucky enough for you here on campus, we have our own set of gas pumps that you can fuel up your cart as much as you want to your little heart's content. So, as you can see here, we have 2 pumps on the fuel island. The number 1 is for diesel, number 2 is for regular gas. You're just going to want to fuel it up on the number 1 side. That's where diesel is. So on your set of keys in the cart, you'll notice that you have one of these. This is called a chip key. You're going to pull up to the fuel island and you'll see this nice little terminal. You'll lift up the plate and you'll put your chip key in with this little tab straight up. You'll insert, ask you to remove it, enter in your PIN number, which you will have there is a gas code number for your department. Enter pump number 1 for diesel. You'll hear it click. You'll take this nozzle out, move the lever on the side, take the gas cap off, and you'll start pumping gas. Pump fuel, excuse me. So my coworker, he already fueled this cart up, so it doesn't take a whole lot. Once you're done, hang it up. Make sure to put your gas cap back on. I've seen a guy drive away without one and it wasn't good. Make sure it clicks like that. There is a reminder on your cart. It does have a sticker. Ultra low sulfur diesel fuel only. Just as a reminder. But then, to put your Kubota away for the day, if you're on an incline, you have to use your parking brake. Because if you leave it in neutral, it's going to roll away. So you just simply grab the parking brake, you pull it back until it clicks, and then you put it into neutral. So that way when you go to start it next time, it's already in neutral. And then you just hit the key and you shut it off, just like your passenger vehicle. So one other thing I forgot to mention was on this screen here. So this is your gas gauge on this side, and as you can see, it's all the way filled up because we just put in fuel. And then this is your motor or your engine temperature gauge right here. Now this should only stay at about 2 bars. If it goes any higher than that, let us know because it probably needs service. Congratulations, you have now completed the tutorial of your new 1100 Kubota. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, or if you need service, please reach out to me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.